Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video on Pokemon card investing, I'm going to go over the best sets from Sword and Shield base right through to the current one, Twilight Masquerade. So we are going to rank, there's 18, just so you know, main sets from Sword and Shield base right through to Twilight Masquerade. We're going to rank them 18 to number one. What is going to be the number one set? What is going to be the top 5 sets? Now, this isn't particularly an investing video. I'm going to follow this video up with an investing video, scoring each of these sets out of 5. Now, these are the main sets. So these aren't the holiday sets. These are booster box sets. So Sword and Shield base right through to Twilight Masquerade. There's 18 of them. What is going to be number one? Before we jump into it though, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you want to become a channel member, that would be greatly appreciated. You can join up from the home screen. It's nice and easy. When you are a member, you can ask me any investing related question via email and I'll get back to you in a timely manner. On to the video at hand. So a couple of criteria about how we're going to rank them. I think it really comes down to a few things. Okay, top chase card inside the set, top 5 or top 10 hits, total depth of chase cards inside the set, and then also how complete the set feels. How well put together is it? Is it a bit mismatched or is it, gelled together nicely? Like, is it a good, solid Pokemon card set? Now, of course, some of those things can be subjective, of course, other than the top hits, but let's jump into it. So number 18, what is the worst Pokemon card set from Sword and Shield base till now? And for my money, that is Darkness Ablaze. That ranks at number 18 for me. Let me know in the comments down below what is your worst set, and also let me know what is your best set. So worst and best. Darkness Ablaze, look, there's only one real chase card inside the set, and it's just a regular VMAX card, which is Charizard VMAX. And now not only is there only one chase card inside the set, this set was printed to absolute oblivion. It came out, of course, in 2020. It was at a time when, a lot of people were stuck at home and printers got turned up to 11, and this set just seemed to get reprinted. And all of a sudden, there's just so much supply. That Charizard VMAX was a big chase card at the time, but now it's worth what, like probably $25, if that, like maybe $22 US. Like, it's just been absolutely hammered, this set. And there's no depth to chases and one regular VMAX as the main hit. For me, it is the worst set from Sword and Shield base right through to Twilight Masquerade. Number 17 on the list, Rebel Clash. And look, I'm going to give some justification for the reason for my sets. Rebel Clash, for me, what's the best hit inside his? Boss's Orders, I think. Now, look, this was not printed anywhere near as much as Darkness Ablaze. And one thing you'll notice is that a lot of the sets in the bottom 5 are really early Sword and Shield sets. So Rebel Clash, again, there's not much depth. There's not much, depth of chase cards inside there. And the main chase card's worth all of probably $35 to $40. Number 16 on the list is Sword and Shield base. Now, same thing. This was not printed very heavily at all. In fact, it didn't get reprinted similar to Rebel Clash. The top hit inside this set is a Rainbow, a VMAX, Snorlax. There's also a Marnie inside there, a waifu card, which is sort of the main waifu from the whole Sword and Shield era. So for my money, it is a better set slightly than Rebel Clash and Darkness Ablaze. And it's also, by the way, the booster box price is going pretty bonkers for this. It has been for the last sort of 2 years. It's risen pretty drastically. Number 15 on the list, and it sort of pains me to put this set at 15 because I loved it when it first came out, and that is Vivid Voltage. Now, I suppose some positives as to why it sits ahead of the other 3 that I've just mentioned is, it introduced amazing rares, which were, colorful and vibrant, and there was, Pokemon coming out of or the holo pattern coming out of the border again, which reminded a lot of people of Gold Star cards, how that happened. And there was also one hell of a big chase card in that Rainbow Pikachu. That card held some serious value raw for a long, long period of time. It was tough to chase. The pull rates were difficult on it. People wanted it. And, it's fallen to a similar fate to Darkness Ablaze, where the set's just been so heavily printed. In fact, I would almost argue it's probably the most heavily printed Sword and Shield set. And again, it was due to that COVID time, and there was demand for it. It was vibrant. It was covered. It was vivid. And as a result, that's where it sits for me. It pains me to do it because I loved it when it first came out. Number 14 on the list, Scarlet and Violet base set. Now, one thing you'll notice, this is our first Scarlet and Violet set on the list. And what that tells you is really that the first 5 Scarlet and Violet sets are stronger sets than the first 5 Sword and Shield main sets. And it's just true. Like, Scarlet and Violet base isn't a terrible set. The top chase card inside there now is the Gardevoir. It's overtaken the Miriam, which is now at number 2. But it introduced a new era to us, didn't it? It introduced new rarities. It introduced a new art type. And it was from the get-go, it didn't have to build up to a new art type like the Sword and Shield era did, where it built up to things like alternate arts and trainer galleries. It was straight off the bat, nice artwork out of the gate. So that's why it ranks at number 14 for me. Number 13 on the list is Obsidian Flames. I think this is a slightly better set than Scarlet and Violet base, but not by a great deal. Of course, it's led by Charizard. And the funny thing is, if we look back across a lot of eras of Pokemon cards, whether it's Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, X and Y, they follow a similar trend. We of course get our base set, then we get this introduction to the new region, in things like Rebel Clash and Paldea Evolved, etc. Then we seem to get, some sort of fire or flame set, whether it was, whether it was Burning Shadows or whether it was Darkness Ablaze, and now it's Obsidian Flames. So this is that fire set. It's led by Charizard. There's 3 Charizard chase cards inside the set. The main one, the pull rates are relatively easy on it compared to a lot of other Scarlet and Violet chase cards, and in particular some of the Sword and Shield alternate arts. So it doesn't hold massive value. What is it? I think a $40, $45 card, the main Charizard EX, the SIR inside there. So that's why it ranks number 13 for me. Number 12, Battle Styles. Now, this booster box price is still holding relatively low. Battle Styles, though, has some awesome artworks inside it. That Sleeping Tyranitar is phenomenal. I love the Urshifus, and in particular, I really like the Empoleon alternate art. That is one hell of a card. The hard part about Battle Styles is pull rates are tough in alternate art. So if you don't pull an alternate art from Battle Styles, it's going to feel like a bit of a failure opening a booster box, and you're not going to pull much value at all. Number 11 on the list for me, Paradox Rift, another Scarlet and Violet set. If you look at Paradox Rift, there is a massive, massive depth to the chase inside this. There is a huge amount of illustration rares and special illustration rares. What is it missing compared to maybe some other better Scarlet and Violet sets? I think it's missing, a real heavy-hitting chase card, or even 2 really heavy-hitting chase cards. The Roaring Moon EX is beautiful. The Groudon's nice. And like I said, there's so much depth to chase. There's a lot of good-looking cards inside Paradox Rift, hence why I put it ahead of sets like Battle Styles. Number 10 on the list is Silver Tempest. I love that Lugia. That Lugia, the alternate art, the big chase from Silver Tempest. Lugia's on the box art. It reminds me of that Neo-era Gyarados, the Shining Gyarados, where the guy's in the boat, the Shining Gyarados is coming out of the water. It sort of reminded me of that theme. And, there's also a trainer gallery. You've got the Rayquaza VMAX in there. There's some other alternate arts you can pull from Silver Tempest. It's not the greatest Pokemon card sets, but it sits sort of middle of the road for me. Number 9 on the list, another Scarlet and Violet one, is Temporal Forces. Now, Temporal Forces is better than Paradox Rift, in my opinion. And, of course, I've said it's better than Silver Tempest, so that's a brave statement. But I think it's got more depth. There's a lot of illustration rares and there's a lot of special illustration rares. And coupled with Paradox Rift, it introduced this new game mechanic, didn't it? The Ancient and the Future. And I suppose the only thing from my perspective is the top chase cards, they're almost like unknown Pokemon to us unless you're really into this new game. Like they're a rehash or a re-evolution of some old legendaries, which seems a bit, I don't know, is it a bit lazy? I don't know. But the artwork on them is all phenomenal. The depth of chase is really good, and hence why it ranks at number 9 for me. Number 8, Paldea Evolved. Now, you might be thinking, wow, you haven't mentioned Twilight Masquerade yet. You've put Twilight Masquerade ahead of Paldea Evolved. You always spruik Paldea Evolved. Yes, I do. I think Greninja probably is the reason why. I'll get to that in a second. But Paldea Evolved has so much depth of illustration rares. It is crazy how many nice, good-looking illustration rares are in Paldea Evolved. The Magikarp is stunning. We all know that is a great-looking card. It's difficult to grade, and therefore, as a PSA 10, it holds incredible value. That's why I've ranked it number 8 on the list. Now, number 7 is Astral Radiance for me. A lot of people might go, whoa, you've ranked that pretty high up the list, but I quite like Astral Radiance. I think both the Origin Form Dialga and Palkia are still a little bit undervalued. The Machamp is an incredible alternate art Pokemon card. It didn't get the reprint last September, October, when Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, and Scarlet and Violet base all got hefty reprints. Astral Radiance was pretty much left alone. It got a small little reprint, but as a result, there's not as much stock or volume of Astral Radiance on the market. Number 6, Twilight Masquerade. This is the highest ranked Scarlet and Violet set. It's led by Greninja. Personally, I really like that card. It's still holding super strong. Will it stay there? I mean, that's anyone's guess, isn't it? It's still like $295 US. That is one heavy hitting chase card. There's a fair bit of depth in it. There's some other good chase cards inside it. The Carmine is really good looking. All the masks, I wish there was something different there, replacing at least some of the masks. There's almost like there's too many. Are they going to hold strong throughout the next 6, 12 18 months, particularly if it cops a reprint. We'll wait and see. But at the moment, you know, that Greninja is just holding it up. Number 5 on my list, Brilliant Stars. This was the alternate art Charizard set, wasn't it? This is our introduction to an alternate art Charizard. It also reintroduced the Trainer Gallery, which we hadn't seen since a set like Cosmic Eclipse. And not only that, the reintroduction of the Trainer Gallery brought us 2 Umbreons, a VMAX and a regular V, and they are both holding really strong in price and really, really good looking cards. For me, that's why Brilliant Stars ranks at number 5. Now, this might catch a few people out. Number 4 on the list for me is Lost Origin. A lot of people might be thinking, why didn't you put that at number 2 behind, I won't say because that'll ruin what number 1 is, but I don't know. I think it's not a one-trick pony because there's a backup for the Giratina, isn't there? Giratina is phenomenal. That is just a hefty hitting card. It is just a big boy, isn't it? Like, that is a good-looking Pokemon card. The artwork's amazing. Hats off to the artist. It's worth the money it should be. And it's supported well by the Aerodactyl. The Trainer Gallery just isn't quite as strong as what you think it is. It's stronger than Silver Tempest, but it's not as strong as Astral Radiance and Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery. So maybe that just dragged it down a little bit for me, and I felt maybe it wasn't as complete as the top 3 on my list. And speaking of top 3, let's move into number 3, which is Chilling Reign. I love this Pokemon card set. Hey, look, I know it doesn't have a Trainer Gallery, and imagine if it did. Imagine if Chilling Reign also had a Trainer Gallery, but it has the largest amount of alternate art Pokemon cards, and I really like the way that Chilling Reign, you know, continues its theme throughout all of its artwork. And it might be a bit weird that Blaziken, a Fire-type Pokemon, is the main chase card inside the set. Maybe that's the only thing that's a little bit off in it. You know, should Blaziken maybe have been in Battle Styles as a chase card, given it's, you know, fighting Fire-type? And maybe Empoleon be the main chase card in Chilling Reign? I don't know, but it is what it is. That Blaziken's an awesome chase card, and the artwork throughout, you know, Chilling Reign is just phenomenal. I really, really like that set. Number 2 on the list, and this is for the purists of the TCG, Fusion Strike. People will know across history that those ghost/psychic type sets perform really, really well, particularly if they feature good Pokemon like Gengar and Mew. The only thing I think that could have really pumped Fusion Strike up to the next level is if it had a Mewtwo alternate art Pokemon card inside it. I wish it had that. But let's not forget the Gengar's a banger, the Espeon's a banger, the Mew's a banger, and the Celebi is one of the most underrated alternate art Pokemon cards in my opinion. That is one hell of a Pokemon card set. And again, imagine if it had a Trainer Gallery as well. Number 1 on the list, and this should be no surprise, it is Evolving Skies. Now, pound for pound, top 20 chase cards across nearly every Pokemon card set. If you line them up, top 20, Evolving Skies can fight in its own weight division. It is a really, really strong Pokemon card set. Name a better modern Pokemon card set, so maybe, you know, 2010 onwards, where the top 20 chase cards are as strong as what Evolving Skies is, particularly with how much it got printed. It wasn't a small printed set. It had a massive first wave, a small second wave, and we're still finding it in ancillary products like tins, in current, you know, Walmarts, etc. So it was not a short printed set. And the fact that the chase cards have held their own for so long, and again, imagine if it had a Trainer Gallery, which it doesn't, but you know, the top 20 chase cards from Evolving Skies, it is just a phenomenal Pokemon card set, and it deserves to be number 1 in my opinion. Again, let me know down below, what is your number 1 Pokemon card set from Sword and Shield base right through to Twilight Masquerade, and what is your least favorite? Let me know down below. I'm Michael, this is Pokeoz, and I'll catch everyone next time.